Okay, everyone, this is the unedited review of Red Faction Guerrilla. You heard me say unedited. Also, I will be using a new review system, seeing that people don't really like it. I had so many complaints on Xbox and shit that they don't like it, so I'm going to try something different. All right, you'll see how I do this. It's going to be a little weird, but I'll do it anyway. So shut the hell up. Anyway. Yeah, this is it's gonna be weird. So anyway, Red Faction Guerrilla. Now, I'll tell you the story right now. I'm just gonna read it straight off from where I'm looking at it because I'm not really good at telling stories. Anyway, telling stories. Yeah. Anyway, it's set on Mars, 50 years after the events of the original Red Faction. I never beat Red Faction, but I loved it anyway. Players will take the role of an insurgent fighter with a newly re-established Red Faction movement as they battle for liberation from the oppressive Earth Defense Force 2017. No, Earth Defense Force. Throughout their fight for freedom, players will carve their own path, wreaking havoc, across the vast open world environment of Mars, from the desolate mining outpost of Parker to the gleaming EDF capital city of Eos. Now that's pretty much explains what you do. I mean, the story is simple. Trying to take Mars back. You play as Alec Mason, who is pretty much set into this war because his brother, Dan Mason, is killed. Don't worry, that's not a freaking spoiler. It happens in the first 3 minutes of the game. So don't give me shit, alright? Don't say, hey, put spoilers in there. First of all, the story isn't that great, okay? You have another character named Sam. I think it's like Samaya. I think her name's Samaya or something like that. Yeah, well, she's like kind of like, I don't know. She resembles like a love interest until later into the game, and then you find out she's actually really important because all girls become important in the story somehow, and all guys or some. The love interest, if you're a girl and there's a guy who's like the main part of a story, it's like, never mind. Anyway, let me talk about the story. The story, it's okay. It's alright. This is how I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to give it scores. Now you're probably going to go, 1 through 10, and then go give it an average. No, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it, alright, there's 5 sections. Each section you get from a .0 to a .9. Yep, you heard it. Well, actually, 1. You get 1 is pretty much 10. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. A .0 to a 1.0. That's how as far as it could go for each section. So we have gameplay, we have story, gameplay, sound, graphics, and controls. You know what? Skip controls. Let's go with enjoyment, entertainment. So we got story, we got gameplay, we got graphics, we got sound, and we got entertainment. Okay, because controls really work in most games, so that's something we don't need to talk about. I talked about story, and let's talk about gameplay. I just had that was a orgasm, a gorgasm. Yeah, this game has the best destruction in any game. Fuck Bad Company, fuck mercenaries. Fuck whatever other destruction you find in a game. This is beautiful. It is a Michael Bay movie. It is. That's what Whitey the reviewer said. It's a Michael Bay movie. And I was like, I don't know what he's talking about. It looks like he has a pretty deep story. Then I play, I'm like, okay. Alright. You got me. So yeah, I play it. It is a Michael Bay movie. It's Transformers, except no well, there's giant robots, there's mechs, but yeah. Now, alright, so the gameplay is awesome, alright, I love it. So, also, if you want to know the scores for each of these, then you have to look on the description. Sorry, I still do that. Alright, so you have to look on the description. It'll be like, 1.0 out of 1.0, like that kind of stuff. And then I'll just combine all the scores together and see what, I'll get like a 5 or something. It'll be out of 5. So, say I get .9, 9.9. That'll be a 4.5. See, all right. That's not what I'm going to give it, by the way. Anyway, so yeah, the gameplay is great. Okay, now the graphics are really good. Actually, I was actually surprised because when I saw gameplay footage, I think about a year ago, it didn't look all that great. It looked pretty good. That we saw multiplayer gameplay. I never saw any story campaign gameplay, but yeah, it looked okay. Now I could say, wow, Mars looks great. The character models are awesome. Well, sometimes they're a little deformed in places, but yeah, I mean, I can definitely look over that because it's mostly pictures or something. Whatever, that don't matter to me. Sorry if you heard that. That was my washing machine. Yeah, I don't worry about that. So yeah, the graphics are really, really good. Anyway, let me go on to sound. Now, sound, it has some cheesy lines, but the actors overall, they actually do a very good job. The gun effects, the destruction sounds sound wonderful. Like when it goes, it goes. It doesn't go kapoosh like some games. Like Mercenaries 2, I noticed I destroyed a whole building and it just goes kaboom. It doesn't. You don't hear rocks falling or anything. You just hear kaboom. No rocks or anything. This you hear like tumbling of every single rock. You can hear like off the distance. If a rock falls all the way there, you can kind of hear it goes ding. Yeah, I don't think a rock goes ding, but that's me. Yeah, so yeah, you can hear pretty much everything. Sound is great also. Now let's go on to maybe well, what's next? Jam, I forgot already. Sound. What else? What the fuck was it, man? See, I always. Oh, entertainment, of course. Entertainment. Alright, now let me talk about the 3 things you get from this. Alright, of course, you get single player, you get multiplayer, but here's the thing that actually came out of nowhere and I didn't even know about. It's called Wrecking Crew, which is kind of fun. It's a game where you can play with friends, but you have to keep passing the controller around, I think. I'm not really sure because I tried to plug in my other controller and it didn't let me, it never recognized it. So, I'm not completely sure, but I think passing the controller around is the best because you only have to play it. I mean, this is the whole thing, destroy shit. But you know, you take turns. Like one guy destroy that, and then one guy would destroy that, and one guy would destroy that, and you all like have time. You're timed on it. And some games are like every time you shoot, you lose time or something like that, or every time you only have one bullet or something like that. That's cool. I really like that. The Wrecking Crew is fun. It's a little cool addition to the whole package, even though it has some great multiplayer, a very long single player. That I mentioned the single player has over 100 missions. Story missions, there's only 20, but overall missions, there's over 100. Alright? Over 120 if you combine the story mode missions. You know what, I think over 130 or 40. So yeah, it'll take about 20-25 hours to beat this whole thing. Multiplayer is fun, you'll keep going back to it, it's so much fun. Just to destroy shit and modify the map as much as you want. You know, you can make your own bridge by, I don't know, destroying a tower. Everybody does that too. I get pissed. I'm like breaking the bridges like they can't pass, and then they break a fucking tower, and I have to break that. And I'm like, fuckers. Anyway, this game is great. Okay, multiplayer, single player talked about. So overall, this game is fantastic, and if you heard me in my Gore's Gaming Update episode 9, you heard me say that it is probably the best game of the year, and I'm going to keep to that. It is the best game of the year until I get Prototype tomorrow. Then I'll see if that's the best game of the year. But for now, Red Faction Guerrilla, I don't care what you say, best game of 2009. I won't say fuck Resident Evil 5, but yeah, people will say Resident Evil 5 is better, but I like this one better. Sorry, people. Sorry. Anyway, thank you for listening. I also showed you some gameplay there, I think. I don't know, I might have switched my mind. But anyway, thanks. Thank you. Look on the description for the full score of each section. And bye.